Fundraising is, of course, a major part of the work law enforcement torch run does on behalf of Special Olympics. Our next speaker became involved with Special Olympics around the same time that I became your ambassador. He was handed some huge boxes of torch run t-shirts and asked us to sell a minimum of $1,000 worth. He didn't even know for sure what the torch run was, but he was a fast learner. Since then, he made it his mission to do all that he can to raise funds and improve the lives of our athletes. No job was too big or too small for him, just as many of our dedicated law enforcement torch run family have been known to do. He would work until very early hours of the morning and still be back up at a fundraiser just a few hours later. He could be found auctioning off polar bears in his office, making huge pots of his award-winning chili to sell to his coworkers, dressing in a polar bear suit and standing in the cold and rain in front of stores and on rooftops to collect any donations he could. He has run alongside our athletes in the torch run, and if he wasn't able to run, he enlisted his beautiful wife and family to represent him. Last but not least, he survived the months of teasing, hilarious memes, and challenges of Frank Toohey on Facebook to outdo his agency's very successful fundraising totals. Because he took on the challenge from his friend, we were all entertained, and everyone took notice that even the small Annapolis Police Department could accomplish great things when we are supporting each other. It is now my great pleasure to tell you even more about successful fundraising. It is my great honor to introduce to you my great friend, mentor, and as I prefer to call him, my big brother, the one, the only, Chuck Bealefeld from the Annapolis City Police Department.
They do have a ladder back here. So I guess I'm done. What Michael said. It was that great. Mike, that was cool. I just talked to Chief Pristu. Don't worry about that man. We got you a horse. Oh! You have enough property, your mom and dad can keep it at the house, and when we have special events, you get to ride the horse in the parade.
All right. Sit down.
Go buy your sperm.
Make sure I have a saddle with that too.
So wow, this is hard to follow up. Great with dancing. We have Michael's speech. Great. All the girls love him. But look, my journey started with Special Olympics, like Michael said. And before I get to the fundraising part, you have to have the story to get there. It started in this room three conferences ago, three years ago. Our shirt salesman and coordinator for Special Olympics, Brian Della, was going away to the National Academy for the FBI. He needs somebody to sell the shirts. I was chosen. I don't know. I said, would you sell the shirts? Absolutely. I thought that's what the torch run was about, selling t-shirts. I know I've been in law enforcement for 32 years. I started in the Baltimore Police Department and retired from there, and went to work. It's the best move I ever made in my life besides marrying the beautiful Ms. Bealefeld. But the Annapolis Police Department, it came from a big agency of 3,000 people, police, not counting the civilians. You're just a name. You're not a face. No one knows who you are. Everybody asks, well, do you know John Smith? There's 3,000 cops in Baltimore. No, I don't know him. But I probably know his face. I've worked with him before. So when I went to Annapolis, it's a family. There's 105, 108 sworn police officers and the civilians. It's a family. They embraced me there. And it took a while to come around. We're we come from the mothership, Baltimore, because our chief's from the city as well. And they didn't embrace the Baltimore guys at first, but I'm part of that family now. They were showing pictures. So I came out here, and the first person I met, Michael Hoyt, it was right around the center of the room there. I was naive. Michael was dressed in a really nice suit. He comes over, "Hey, brother, how are you?" Shakes my hand. I'm like, "Who's this guy?" I'm like, "Is he one of the executives at Special Olympics or something?" I don't know. So I sit there. I didn't know Michael was an athlete. I don't know. I don't know. He was so impressive to me, and he just gave me that warm feeling. I never met him before. He made me feel so welcome. So with Jeff once, I went to the Florida International Conference. I, again, had no clue what the torch run was about. I went to that. I saw the interaction with the athletes, with all the police, and the ceremony, and learning what the torch run was all about, how it started 28 years ago. Chewy tricked me. So, you guys aren't listening to me. You're working out. So for the veterans in here, again, how many first-timers do we have in here? How many have never presented a medal? Okay. You're the ones that I need to target. If you've presented a medal, I was just at a conference Saturday and Monday this week for the torch run. And the word being used around at the conference was the aha moment. I had my aha moment. It started in this room, meeting Michael. I went to the winter games in the ski resort. Was it Whitetail? Okay. I had never presented medals before, and I got a challenge from Danielle at this conference. If you never presented a medal, why haven't you? So I was like, it was new to me. I'm taking all this in, and I like to know what's going to happen. I'm not one of those surprise type people. And I was like, am I ready to go out there and present medals? Well, I got the courage, and I did it. And this young lady, and there'll be a picture of her up there soon, I'm sure. She wrapped her arms around me. Michael and Frank are going to go down and be questioned. That's the best picture I've ever seen. Michael will give it up in a minute. Frank, he's confused. But I had my aha moment at that meeting, at presenting that medal. And it got me in the heart. And now it's, what more can I do to help them? Because they're helping me. 32 years as a cop. It's not all good. I've been a homicide detective. I do violent crimes for the city of Annapolis. I'm on an FBI task force for child pornography. It's horrible. It's horrible. And these guys, what they give back to all of us, money can't buy it. Can't buy it. So, our agency, Polar Bear Plunge, there we had a team. I was never part of it. I live on the Eastern Shore, and I always drive over the Bay Bridge, and I would see them setting that up, and I said, that's on my bucket list. I got to do that sometime. Yeah, I didn't have the courage to do it, but I've done it now, quite a few times. And our agency, they put a team together, they raised $400. I was like, nah, we can do better than that. So my first year, being like the co-captain of the team, we raised $8,000. Still lost at Anne Arundel County. This past year, this plunge, Frank Tui and I formed a partnership. We didn't discuss it. It just happened. Social media. Him poking fun at me poking fun at him, and trying to get other people's interest involved. And you've seen the meetings up there. People, I probably lost 1,000 friends on Facebook because it was non-stop. And in December, it was every 5. He was working night shift. I wasn't sleeping at night. And we were like making, who could make them the quickest? And there was nothing off limits. Our family, our kids, and there's meetings about everybody. But between his going back and forth with me, his agency was $17,000, was $17,000 for the polar bear plunge. Our agency, almost $13,000 raised for the polar bear plunge. Just using social media and going out and like employing Michael. Michael, you all have groups in your communities. In each county, they have a delegation of athletes. They have their groups. I teamed up with Michael's mother, Roxanne. She helped me that first year sell those shirts. She's helped me every year since then. We went from selling, I was told this was my charge, sell $1,000, $1,200 worth of shirts so we can get the plaque each year that says we participated, and I'll be happy. That was from a commander, not my current commander, because he gave me the charge and said, run with it. I was like, again, $1,000, that's not enough. That's not enough. So we're up now to selling almost $4,000 worth of shirts. Compared to some people, that's not a lot. But it's great. I mean, Gus Proctor for Charles County, he sells almost $40,000 worth of shirts. There it is. There's my aha moment. You know, not to be smart or flip, we have aha moments when we're teenagers in the back seats of cars sometimes. Right there. There's not a more beautiful girl and more beautiful moment. That was it. That picture's traveled around the world. I got some, Frank has posted it everywhere. There's a banner made at Special Olympics, and someone sent me something that it was used at the Australian Open for their games. It's just amazing where all this stuff travels and the impact it has. So, to get back to fundraising. I'm the kind of guy, I don't read manuals, I'm hands-on. So, I want to do a little experiment and show you the kind of stuff that we do. And I brought my tools with me today. You got 20 minutes of this. For the guys that are on the trip, just in case. So here's one of my tools I use. Got it from Special Olympics. They gave me 3 of them. I sit this on my desk. People come by my desk, they drop money in, change. Most of the time it's my money. I put it in there. I hate carrying change in my pocket. But I went around to some businesses in my community and in our city, and we put them all out when we're having an event. And they fill up. Michael sits one out at Giant and just lets it sit on the counter. It's doing the work by itself. And he'll have $70, $80 in there. I had one of these for the polar bear plunge, one of our teammates. She works in a pharmacy. She put it out. She cashed it in, had $800 in it for the polar bear plunge. No work, just how many of you got your favorite coffee shop that you've been going to for years on your post? Sit it out. It's no work. You just give the money. You're going to love this one. I left this part out because I didn't have it scripted. I went to the manual, the state police manual on how to fundraise transportation articles. That's for the state, I'm sorry. I drive a blue GMC Arcadia with FOP tags. I travel back and forth on Route 50. My wife's car. Well, my people from my agency, Amy Miguez, Deb Gibberis, Jimmy, come on up here. You can help out too. This is my power. This is where I make my money. And they're going to show you right now how it's done. Simple as this. Walk up to somebody. I'm Chuck Bealefeld from Special Olympics. Would you like to make a donation to our polar bear plunge team? They're going to show you how it's done. They're going to come around. They're going to come around the auditorium. So start getting your pockets out. I got a 5K race I'm putting on Saturday. I need funds. So. In my car. Don't worry about it. Michael and I have a group of athletes from Anne Arundel County that regularly participate. We go to Sam's Club during the polar bear plunge time, and we stand out there and we have these buckets. I'm usually in a bear costume. The athletes are there, mostly wearing their medals, and some of our officers who are here today, they walk around, I call it meet and greet. As people are coming out of Sam's Club, we introduce ourselves and ask for a donation. And usually I'll have a little bag of Hershey Kisses with a card in it, with the website where if they don't want to donate money or if they want to donate more, where they can donate to. And the little card says, "Thank you for your support, have a kiss from the Annapolis Police Department." And it's just 4 or 5 Hershey Kisses in it. Great reception. How many chiefs in here love good PR for their agency? We're out there showing the greatness that we're doing with the athletes and making the public aware of we're not bad guys, we're the good guys. Cops on a rooftop. Danielle calls me, "Hey, I need you to do this in Annapolis at the Dunkin' Donuts." I was like, another event. It's like, all right. So I put it together. I've never done it before. There's more popular, better ones run right now. Thank you. Hope we have at least $100 probably in there. And how long did it take? 4 minutes? 5 minutes? Not even that. We do the cops on the rooftop. We again get the athletes involved. We have them there. 2.
I saw that, Tilly.
Thank you all for that. It's going to be, I'll get to it. We're having a 5K race in Naptown Trot Saturday morning, and we're going to donate that money to that. But it doesn't matter if it's $1, $5, $5. State police, God bless these guys. $2 million for that polar bear plunge they raised. It's amazing. I'm happy if I gauge our success if we're making like $200 an hour, like meet and greets. Is it worth our time? And if we're making $1, it's worth our time. But are we making at least $200? Usually on a 4-hour meet and greet at a Sam's Club on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning, we'll make $1,000, $900 to $1,000. And it's not hard work. It's just you got to put the time into it. The tip-a-cop, if you've never participated in that, you go out to the Red Robin restaurants and you simply walk up and talk to people. I wear my uniform in Anne Arundel County. They wear shirts designating that they're police, I guess. But the interaction you're having with the community, again, it's not negative. It's positive. You have an athlete with you. You introduce them. The PR you get from it and the feeling that you're doing something good. It's not all about writing tickets, locking bad guys up, going to court. This is fun stuff. It's exhausting. Put a lot of hours into it if you're doing it. But when you have that moment, that aha moment, you're going to do it. It's going to hit you. Again, I keep talking about Michael. He's like my right-hand man. If I'm out doing something, Michael's with me. We were together last night putting out door hangers on in a community where our rates are being affected. Are you coming over? That's the left, Mike. Something as simple as making chili. In Annapolis, for the United Way campaign, another fundraiser that I have to do. But what I did, I tricked them with that one. I said, okay, I'll do it. But I directed all the money to Special Olympics. So, $2,800 I got from cops at a police station that I had to hear, oh, the CEO, he makes all the money, he doesn't get the money. Convince them that just $1 a pay, 50 cents a pay, whatever, we can get some money to these athletes. $500 for one sport. How many did you have?
13.
13. You do the math for me real quick. $500 a sport it takes to support them for a year in that sport. You have many of the athletes are playing in multiple sports. So when you say, oh, that $1, $2 doesn't count. We had a chili cook. I was getting back to that. The chili cook-off. Annapolis, I get to make the chili for the police. Every year we've won. 5 years in a row now, we're first place for the chili. Frank will probably come and buy some Wendy's chili and put it in the contest or something. I brought that back to our agency and said, because everybody wants a bowl of my chili. $10, you get a hot dog, bowl of chili, and a soda. We made $600 in an hour, lunch hour. It's little things like that. They all add, those little things, they add up. And there's not many people in here that haven't had their aha moment or haven't done this for a long time. I'm preaching to the choir, but we all can share those ideas. We can all do it together. And at the end of the day, he disappeared. It's for Michael, Desi, and Adam, Candace. It's for them to get that smile, to get that aha moment. I'm telling you, if you haven't had it, you know what it was like in the back seat of your dad's car, okay? I'm sorry. We're all adults. That moment, it's never going to leave me. It's never going to leave my heart. My wife gets aggravated, and I'm not going to lie. She gets aggravated again sometimes. I spend a lot of hours dealing with Special Olympics. I was having a conversation with Jimmy Buxton. He's been in police for about a year and a half, 2 years now. And unfortunately, we had an incident over the weekend with one of our officers that got in some trouble because of alcohol. And I'm giving him my lecture, the old dad lecture. Alcohol, women, and sleeping are going to ruin your career. That's what I got when I started. I never hung around with police when I was a police in Baltimore. I still don't hang around with police where I work. I didn't start hanging with police until 3 years ago. Now I have some of the best friends who are police because we all have the same goal. I've been married for 30 years because I didn't hang out with cops. I went home after work. But these guys, they're part of a family that they bond. If I pick up the phone, Jeff wants, I need some help with this. Frank, I need a photographer for setting. They're there. They're helping. We all have our level that we want to participate. And I'm not telling you guys, I look at it like I got 4 jobs. I'm a detective for the Annapolis Police Department. I work with the FBI. I work with Special Olympics. And I got a family at home with a wife, children, and grandchildren. They've all become involved in it. My grandchildren, we go to sporting events, baseball games with Michael. They love Michael. They're participating in any event I have. If I'm doing a fundraiser, my grandkids are out there. They're learning what this is about. My wife is at the event. She's participating. My sisters, they just got involved. My sister met Michael at a conference about real estate or something. She said, "Do you know Michael Hoyt?" I said, "Absolutely. That's my little brother." Right? They're best friends now. It's his big sister. So it's not just about raising that dollar. It's about the relationships you're going to build. Raising those dollars. Raising them for these guys.